Hey guys, I'm going to try and do one of these videos a day covering different psych concepts or famous psych experiments in the hopes that you'll find them interesting, or there'll be some other student out there that might find this a better way to absorb the information in psych textbooks. Yeah, let me know what you think. If there's a topic you want covered, just post below. I'd love to hear it. So today I'm going to be talking about the Stanford prison experiments. In it, Dr. Phillp Zimbardo created a fake prison, and he recruited a stack of people and randomly allocated them to either be prison wardens or prisoners, and he gave them different symbols of being a prisoner or warden, and these included things like the reflective glasses that you see American police men and women wear, the aviator style glasses, the batons, different things like that. And he actually kind of included himself in the experiment. He went in as like the head of the prison. And he was basically interested in just observing how people adopted different social roles. It's an experiment that in no way would be able to happen by today's standards, but I'll cover that a bit more later on. Ethically, you just can't do things like this without really carefully considering the psychological impact of it. Anyway, so what he found was that people adopted these roles surprisingly easily. So normal, non-pathological people put in a situation where you have prisoners and officers, and you found that very quickly things degraded into things that were very sadistic and dark. People, when given authority, when there was a clear, hierarchy of I'm the officer, you're the prisoner, things degraded very fast, particularly because there was no other higher power authority. What you saw, and there's a great video of this experiment, what you see is that the prisoners, they rebel and they go through a series of stages of eventually coming to terms with being a prisoner. And then the officers progressively become stricter and stricter and tougher to establish their dominance in this situation, and it became horrible. It became really nasty, to the point where recently I saw a documentary where they brought the prisoners and the officers back together for like a reunion years and years later after the experiment. And within a couple of minutes of having them in the same room, they immediately were at one another's throats again. Like years later, those roles they still jumped into. So I think it really goes to show the power of a social role, and I think it also goes to show the importance of the type of people that you hang out with, because whether you realize it or not, it's having an impact on you. This experiment went downhill so quickly that I think within a week they shut down the experiment, and Phillp Zimbardo actually admits to this day that something about it actually drew him in as well, to the point where even he started to adopt this role that wasn't really him and was quite authoritarian. So even the experimenter got lost within this sort of fake social dynamic that very quickly became real. And I think there's something about groups that does that. I mean, you look at cults, you look at you look at racism and prejudice. When people band together, they can create a reality of their own, which isn't necessarily based on anything real. And particularly when that power is left unchecked, you get these really nasty, dark sides of humanity that come out.